Alright guys, we're doing another banter video, and it has been a while since I do one of these. This is where I just grab a demo, kind of cut it up so it's more concise, the clips are closer together and stuff like that. I grab a drink and I just watch it, and I talk about what I see. And you might notice this is not exactly a demo, and that's because Valorant doesn't have demos, and Brax with a nice shot there actually, jeez. Valorant doesn't have a demo system, unfortunately. I'm hoping they add it soon because I'd like to start doing videos about it maybe once a week or something like that. I'll probably do Counter-Strike and Valorant concurrently. Gotta follow my boy Brax here, who is on a team with the old boys there. He's teamed up with Daze, Skadoodle, and AZK, plus some Korean guy named Spider that used to play Overwatch. And unless you've been living under a rock, Valorant has taken some steam out of Counter-Strike, no pun intended. They really hit the ground running. They had a great launch where they would pair it up, like to get a beta key you needed to watch it on Twitch, and that kind of went viral. The Twitch viewership was like out of this world. I think someone had over 300,000 viewers for his Twitch stream playing Valorant, stuff like that. Anyways, they had a really good launch, and Riot has been really consistent with the game. They've paid attention to it. They've adjusted balance issues when they see them pretty quickly, and they have a much faster update cadence than Steam or than Valve with Counter-Strike. And like things like the R8 in Counter-Strike. When did that thing come out? It came out like what, 4 years after Counter-Strike launched? It's like, really guys, you haven't figured out balance problems and how to properly add things to the game? CSGO's been out for 4 years, and Counter-Strike was out for like 10 years before that, or 15 years before that. So the good thing about Valorant, and that's the problem too for Valve, is Valorant's actually good. That's going to be a problem for Valve. And what they've done is a lot of people on their team actually play the game at a high level. They've got Sal Garozzo, Volcano, used to be a pro Source player, and they've got several other very, very good players. Actually, when the game launched, they had like they'd set up these tournaments where the developers of the games would play against, like they played against Shroud, Summit, Skadoodle, some other big names, like good players, and the devs just absolutely smoked these guys when the game first came out, despite the difference in aim. And I guess that brings up my next point, the abilities. Yeah, the abilities are kind of, they're weird to deal with as a CS player, but you do get used to them, and eventually you find your comfort zone, and the gunfighting really is the core of the game, as much as it gets memed on that like shooting rocket launchers and stuff is not using your whatever, you know what I mean. The gunplay is still the major part of the game, but the gunplay is pretty different from CSGO. I'd say the gunplay is really, that was actually a nice jet forward, or a dash forward there by Brax to dodge the rocket launcher, just as I mentioned it. The gunplay is a lot easier than CSGO. Like these pro level players, their aim is just on the next level because the hitboxes are a bit bigger and the movement speed is slower. So oftentimes you're going to see just one tap with these guys. And actually coming up here, this is a nice shot from Brax right here. But yeah, like 2 bullets and the guy's dead, right? The gunplay is way easier, and that brings the skill ceiling down, but the skills in the game kind of counteract that, and they bring the skill ceiling back up, if that makes any sense. So when you're hitting a site or when you're executing onto a bomb site, the amount of abilities flying out and different things going on really gets super chaotic, and that is where the skill ceiling in this game is high. The skill ceiling is definitely lower for the gunplay. Actually, check this shit out. This is a 6 shot. He hears the jet updash, so he that's why he raises his crosshair in the air before seeing the jet fly across the screen. Anyways, that was a super nice shot. But like I said, it's just way easier to shoot people in this game. So if you're coming from CS and you have a lot of experience, you're going to be good with the weapons within 2 days. And the weapon system is a little bit different than CS, but very similar. They've reduced the amount of weapons too. You could buy any weapon you want, no matter what side you're on. They have an M4 equivalent with the Phantom. They have the AK equivalent with the Vandal. They have the Op right here. That's literally called Operator. It's clearly a clone, I guess. But they've got their own spin on it. They kind of mashed Overwatch together with Counter-Strike, and this is kind of what they got. But even with it as a clone, I think Valve really left the door open for a competitor to come in and make something good. Like, Valve really hasn't been very focused on Counter-Strike, in my opinion. They're pretty hands-off. If I was Riot and I was in their position of making esports titles, I would totally go after Counter-Strike. The player base is huge. There's a hands-off developer like Valve that you're competing against, and I'm sure Riot just looked at the list of items that they can compete with, and they're like, yeah, we could take Valve on this and this and this and create a better tournament structure, or create a better ecosystem for competitive play. And so far, I think they've nailed it, to be honest. Like, if I were to look ahead a year, I would be surprised if Valorant wasn't at least even to Counter-Strike in the next year. Well, in North America, actually, it's not even close. Right now in North America, all the good players have basically gone to Valorant, except for the super top tier CSGO players from NRG and Team Liquid. Pretty much any name worth talking about has gone to Valorant. And yeah, this is a good round from Brax. The iBuyPower guys were an obvious choice, right? Like, Steel was still in the game. Steel was still grinding. He had days on the outside quite a bit. He was actually pretty rusty when he came in. Brax, as soon as he hit the game, as soon as he hit Valorant, he was considered the #1 player in Valorant for a bit, and then Wardell took over. But when the game was still in beta, a lot of people thought Brax would be the best player in Valorant just because he picked it up super quickly. He was in the pre-beta, so like the testing phase too, so he kind of got a head start on some guys. I'm pretty sure he was in the pre-beta. AZK was for sure anyways. This is a good round though. This A side is pretty hard to hit. As a T, you really got to cut off your angles, and they saw that Omen in heaven before they hit sight. So they have a few different places to look in sight here, and they look in all the wrong spots, and they get sprayed down by Brax. Let's show it again here. This is actually just Brax. He solo queued into matchmaking, and this is just a game I pulled off his stream kind of randomly. He coincidentally got into a game with Steel as well, who was solo queuing. But you see that pretty often actually at the higher ends of Valorant. They're like, that's such a nice shot. You see the high end players get paired up pretty often together. Just a super nice round here. It would have been nice if we got that last guy. But I also like what they kind of did with the skin system. The game is free to play, first of all, and the skins, they can't be traded, thank God, because that brings so many problems to CS. Well, it brought a lot of problems to Brax and Steel too, but it brought a lot of problems in, we have these super shady fucking CSGO trading and CSGO Lotto and all these weird ass gambling sites. And ultimately, like, this is a video game that kids are playing, and what are the companies that are running these gambling websites, and where did they come from, and are they stealing things? And basically all of them have accusations against them for stealing skins intentionally, like stealing, just cutting a little bit off the top, you know, like only steal, let's only take like 0.5% of skins sort of thing. And with Valorant, you don't have that problem. Yeah, the skins in Valorant are ridiculously priced, in my opinion. Like, to get a full skin set, I think it's like $100 or $90 or something to get a full set of skins for whatever collection. Honestly, I don't buy them. There's other people that can inform you better on that, but you don't have to buy them. So the game's free to play. You get everything that comes with it, and they have a different ecosystem than Valve. Valve relies on the trading of skins, and they take a piece of, they have that key money, so every time you open a case you pay for the key, and then they take a little bit off of every trade. And they purposely or intentionally created that trading ecosystem so they can constantly shave off a couple bucks or a couple % every time a skin gets traded. And like I said, it's just brought so many problems to CS:GO. And yes, I know it resurrected the game, and the game wasn't doing good before that. Well, the game was also shit before the skins came out. So honestly, if they would have released a good game, maybe they wouldn't have had that problem. But when CS:GO first came out, the game was kind of shit. Everyone credits the skins for saving CS:GO, and they certainly helped. But like I said, the game was garbage. Other than that, I don't know who that Killjoy is. They have a streamer mode too, so you can set it to streamer mode, so players can't see your name, and that prevents like ghosting, right? So you can see 100 Thieves Steel is playing Raze, so you can see his name. He's not set to streamer mode, so he can get stream sniped. But that Killjoy, I don't know who it was. He's got it set to streamer mode, so it just says Killjoy as his name. Another cool feature that CS doesn't have, but no CS player actually plays matchmaking either, because it's just full of cheaters at the top level anyways. I wanted to talk about the buy system too. I'll just stop it here so you can take a look. So they have 5 guns or 5 pistols, and then you have your SMGs. And I thought the buy menu was really good actually. You have your abilities at the bottom, your 2 armor sets that they kind of differentiate a bit between CS or from CS. Like you can't go no head armor, so it's light armor or heavy armor. Heavy armor adds 50 health points, light armor adds 25 health points. Honestly, I like CS better, the way they do the head armor thing, but I guess Riot didn't want to 100% copy Valve for nearly everything. So that's what we get. But going back to the cheating, actually, Vanguard is the anti-cheat that Riot came out with, and it's very similar to ESEA anti-cheat, except a little bit better. You actually have to boot your computer with it to be able to play. So if you close the Vanguard program, you have to reboot your computer just to play Valorant, which is even better than ESEA. Like to play ESEA, you just need to have the ESEA client running. So they say the advantage of having it run on boot is that you can't start other programs up and obfuscate them before the anti-cheat is running, which apparently is working pretty well. They just brought a cheat maker to court as well, or they sued a cheat maker. Anyways, they've been very aggressive with it, and there has not been excessive cheating at the high levels at all, like even in pub games. So like you would never see pro players, you know, just going into matchmaking and playing or whatever, right? Whatever, like Brax is really good, man. But you like the time to kill is very low in Valorant, right? Like those headshots aren't that crazy, but his reaction time is nuts too. And like that was better than I could do, obviously. But he has a great game. Oh yeah, it's only max round 13 or first to 13 wins. So the games are always going to be quicker than CS. And I thought CS was going to go back down to 13 after they kind of changed the money system around. Like it used to be max round 12 in CS. And, well, this was a long time ago, granted. But it used to be max round 12, and then the reason they went to 15, nice shot to finish it off, Brax. The reason they went to max round 15 was because the pistol round had too much weight on the game. So instead of changing the money system, they just increased the amount of rounds you played. But then Valve changed the money system around so that the pistol round does not quite have as much impact on the game's economy and stuff like that. And I know there were rumors that CS was going to go back down to 12 rounds per half, but that never happened. Anyways, it's way easier to swallow like a 12 round game. It's just some CS games can fucking drag on, man, to like they can really drag on and kind of get annoying. But the Valorant games typically are quicker, and just that 3 round difference per half, it makes a big difference, man. Anyways, I hope you guys. I know my channel is all CS people. I don't know how many people have tried Valorant or switched to Valorant or maybe gave it a shot at least. I personally did, and I personally liked it. I feel like I talked up Valorant a lot here, just to get it clear. Like I'm not totally fanboying for it. I think there's still a lot of problems with Valorant, but I think they're on a good track. And anyways, I guess what I'm getting at is I hope you don't mind a little bit of Valorant content here or there, especially with the old iBuyPower guys, because I tend to follow them around. And 100 Thieves too, the old CS boys, Hiko, Steel, Nitro, they're good to follow too. I'll probably grab a couple more demos from their streams and kind of cut it up so it's kind of like a first-person demo. And then when or if Riot ever releases a demo system, I'll probably get on that too. I'm not really big on the broadcast system. Like, I don't want to take a broadcasted game and then break it down because the camera's changing all around, and like I'd rather just sit on one person and analyze their game, right? Kind of like exactly what I do for CS. So if the demo system never comes out for Valorant, well, it is what it is, right? So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed chilling with me here while I just rant, I guess. And I'll catch you on the next one, all right? Peace.